Doom, ba, 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 ba. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. Ooh, 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 ah, ah. Now, what's up, everybody? It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles, and it is Monday. Everybody loves Mondays. Happy birthday, Evan Say It, tomorrow. I'll tell you who that is maybe another time. It's Monday, October 28th, AD 2024, and we're going to have a fun show. I do hope and pray and believe, right? Pardon me. So we're live on Rumble. What's up, Jules Verne? Nice to see you, man. We should be live on Facebook. Real book. You guys call it fake book. Live on X. And other platforms. Gonna cover some various things in the news. You know what? I mean, I disavow McDonald's because they're for the illegals coming in, you know? But I'm kind of starting to like McDonald's. And you know who else I'm kind of starting to like? Jeff Bezos. Bezos. That's how you pronounce the Z, right? In Spanish, it's Bezos, but it's Bezos. Jeff kisses. I could kiss him because his Washington Compost trashy newspaper where they want to kill America and cast it into darkness and call it a democracy because they say democracy dies in darkness ever since Trump. They won't endorse cackling Kamala Harris. Last minute decision. And space is so real because Jeff Bezos wants to go to space. He has a big contract with the government with his Blue Origin. Which is cooler, Blue Origin or SpaceX? I don't know. They're both kind of cool in their own way. Shout out to the billionaires. I love we love billionaires if we love anybody. So, I don't know if we're going to talk about that, but I just found it fun that, you know what else is cool? Let me just show you this. That's fun. That's a fun view. This is from Blue Origin. No, we're looking down on the beautiful scenery of I think that's the San Gabriel Valley, maybe. From an airplane. We're coming in for a landing on the aeroplane. Haven't shown you that picture in a while. I like the fact that the Washington Post will not even endorse Kamala Harris. There was some outlet that did, some newspaper, I want to say. I forget who. Pretty embarrassing, you know? What else is going on? Oh, I feel like eating McDonald's because, just to be like, Trump worked at a McDonald's over in PA. Maybe I should go to PA and go to that McDonald's. Nice. Just the government's trying to blame them for E. coli. I mean, I would assume that it might be their fault or somebody's fault. Somebody should get fired, whipped publicly, flogged. Because people are getting E. coli and somebody died. That's not good. But at least they're from Colorado. That's not funny. So we're going to have a fun show, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. I did see some of your super chats did come in, or at least one. Shout out to Based America First and Lin Yen Chin. Thank you, sir. I was able to get your super chat in. And we'll see what fun stuff that we play. Can you hear the aeroplane? We're on the flight. We're on I think American Anchor Baby is flying this plane here. It's going to be a smooth landing. But let's see. Anyway, everybody, let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake report. The Hake report. La la la.
So, how you guys doing? What is my name, Joel? Look at this. I have my Hake backwards. What is my name, Joel? Right? Because Joel gets confused too. My name is Hake. You point the front towards you. How you guys doing? I'm fine. I'm wearing a nice shirt today. It almost is Irish-esque. I always liked green. You know, when you're a kid, they force you to pick a favorite color, and so I picked green. Green was my favorite color. But I don't think I naturally would have had a favorite color. I mean, I like green. It's a nice color. You go outside, all the beautiful greens. But I don't know if I would have had a favorite color had I not been told or asked, pressured to have a favorite color. Because they ask you, and if you're one of those kids who's brainwashed to be subject to pressure, you have to pick a favorite color. It's ridiculous. Green is the Islamic color. A shout out to the Islamics. Fascinating, says Zazen. Hake is part Jewish. He loves green. People do speculate. People do speculate that I'm part Jewish. Asmodor, our resident historian, said that I look the opposite of Jewish, though. So some people think that I do look like it, and other people, rest in peace, Asmodor, think I do not. But shout out to them. And the green means life. Indeed. Indeed. Yeah, I got it at Ross. Can I say that? I just did. So, let's have some fun, shall we? I want to get into some content over here. By the way, it's LN Monday. Love Neptune Monday. Speaking of Elon Musk and billionaires and the economy, whatever you want to call it, Elon Musk posted this some weeks back, October 9th, okay? And I found it somewhat interesting, so I wanted to share it with you. Hopefully he doesn't cuss, right? I don't remember. It's been some time. Milton Friedman, he doesn't cuss, right? So let's just hear it.
Inflation is the most destructive disease known to modern societies. There is nothing which will destroy a society so thoroughly and so fully as letting inflation run riot.
This is an old clip. It's Milton Friedman. And he said, inflation is the most destructive thing. Even more destructive than black crime? Come on, surely. Maybe he didn't know. Hold on.
Inflation is the most destructive disease known to modern societies. There is nothing which will destroy a society so thoroughly and so fully as letting inflation run riot. Inflation doesn't arise because you got consumers who are spendthrift. They've always been spendthrift. It doesn't arise because you've got the businessmen who are greedy. They've always been greedy. Inflation arises because we as citizens have been asking you as politicians to perform an impossible task. We've been asking you to...
Pardon me, I think there's music. Who's playing the music? Is this copyright? Well, I guess it's okay generally to play copyrighted music as long as it doesn't get blocked. I play copyrighted music every day. Believe it or not, that Christian stuff is copyrighted. But anyway, here's something that somebody was asking him. We've been asking you to spend money on us. Government spending. Elon Musk said government spending drives inflation.
To spend somebody else's money on us, but not to spend our money on anybody else. Everybody talks against inflation, but what he means is that he wants the prices of the things he sells to go up and the prices of the things he buys to go down. The real tax on the American people is not what you label taxes. It's total spending. If Congress spends $50 billion more than it takes in, if government spends $50 billion, who do you suppose pays that $50 billion?
Of course.
The Arab sheiks aren't paying it. Santa Claus isn't paying it. The Tooth Fairy isn't paying
Whoa.
it. You and I, as taxpayers, are paying it indirectly through hidden taxation.
Whoa. In your face. Boom. TikTok. Dang, I never thought of that part. That was a post from this gal, Insurrection Barbie. I disavow her. But right on, Elon Musk. Dang, did you think about that before? Some of you guys knew this. Read this to understand why I'm supporting Trump. America PAC. Wow. Elon Musk has founded this PAC, and the PAC's @ is America. I'm just seeing this on Elon Musk's X. 500,000 followers. Right on. PAC Political Action Committee, founded by Elon Musk, our favorite billionaire, to support, besides Trump, of course, to support candidates who champion secure borders, sensible spending, safe cities, fair justice system, free speech, and self-protection. Unfortunately, the word fair and the word justice, those are buzzwords, but it's more than just a buzzword for Elon Musk. So right on, man. Nice. But did you know that? All of this government spending more than they're taking in, and it's messing us up because it's making stuff artificially higher, and so we're going to have to pay it artificially higher prices. They're taxing us or indirectly by way of out of control spending, and they're spending like crazy. The Republicans and the demon rats. It's ridiculous. And you say, oh, Trump increased the deficit. I think he had to, right? Because the military was depleted under Obama. I never knew what Milton Friedman looked like. I knew that he was like a hero. I pictured him higher pitched voice and more like annoying and beta seeming. Like Ron Paul. Shout out to the Ron Paul supporters. I, too, am somewhat of a Ron Paul supporter, but the media successfully had me looking at him, and by the way, his voice, his way of being kind of, looking at him kind of like a clown, sort of slightly even effeminate. I'm not saying just that he's sort of like a, Ron Paul, libertarian guy. Because other libertarians, don't they love Milton Friedman? Shout out to the economists. We were talking about the economy yesterday in church with Jesse Lee Peterson about returning the shopping carts. Back in the good old days. Hi, Ivana. Hey. No worries if you're late. Back in the good old days, we didn't have this dumb thing like minimum wage, artificially propping up somebody's wage to how much they should spend based on phony liberal lame-o politicians and some so-called conservatives. Milton Friedman is based, says our greatest co-host. Big bump. 2 G's in big bump. Big bump. I might have put 3 in there, but it's supposed to be 2. Big bump. We didn't have minimum wage, so we had there were all kinds of job opportunities. A lot of times they say, and you guys who are Uber Eats drivers, you drive, if you don't get tips, you end up getting less than minimum wage, I think, because you're not paid hourly, you're paid per job. You're paid per job, right? So your job takes a long time. As based Joel Friday said, who's coming in next, if you're delivering to the hood, you have to pick up your food in the hood. They're less professional in the hood restaurants, so you have to wait a long time. Where's my food coming? I've known some short-tempered, frustrated food delivery drivers, or at least 1 or 2, who have to put up with bad service from the places from which some of you guys order, if any of you guys are watching Hake, listening right now. And then on top of that, You have to like buzz yourself into this dangerous apartment, risk getting your car stolen, and then on top of that, they don't even tip you. And so you cuss out the, you don't, kids. But this guy, this angry person, he cusses out the person in the restaurant. He cusses out the customer who doesn't tip. Person at the restaurant doesn't communicate how long the order is going to take. The customer doesn't even tip you when they make you deliver all the way into their apartment. Through that, have to buzz you in the gate. And they're not making anything, hardly anything. You might as well be working $2 an hour, having fun, getting a little exercise, getting some fresh air, doing a returning shopping cart job for 25 cents or $2 an hour. Right? They got a JLP style tip. That's right. So, shout out. Hake literally just drummed up an imaginary story. You don't know. You don't know. You heard Joel Friday talk about what it's like delivering in the hood versus delivering in a higher trust place where you can leave your doors unlocked, at least temporarily, and run in, and they tip you well, and it's safe streets. It's clean, and it's fun. $2 an hour, Hake, you're tripping. Even if Flat Earth Victory supports my arguments. And he's for UBI, Universal Basic Income. But he knows I'm right. On this point. I delivered to JLP once. He tipped me $1, then he hit my car with a shopping cart. That's not funny. And that's not true either. He's just having fun. Yeah, I mean, no, he's a Christian communist. He's a Christian socialist, if there is such a thing. So, that's that. Joe from Phoenix, Arizona is on the line here. Joe, do you love and respect Milton Friedman? Are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Do you love and respect Milton Friedman?
I do. Studied him in grad school.
Nice. Hey.
Nobel Prize winning economist. Brilliant man.
Right on.
And finally, you listen to him, but not old Joe in Phoenix.
No, I listen to Joe.
Been trying to tell you for how many years now to watch the Fed and inflation. You know how much the Fed wants to see per year on inflation, James?
At 2%.
Excellent. They want to see 2% per year inflation.
Yeah.
To them, that's the sign of a healthy economy.
Okay.
Now, you heard Freeman say, biggest threat to society, inflation. And I've been giving you story after story of all the shenanigans that are happening at the Fed. And the Fed is the one in charge of inflation.
Wow.
So they are literally tasked with managing inflation.
Wow.
And they are constantly in cahoots with the Treasury Department when it comes to printing more money.
Yeah.
When you print more money, you devalue the money that's already out there, correct?
That's right, and that's what he means by that artificial unspoken tax on the people.
In part, yes. And also I've been harping on you for years now about the deficit versus the debt.
Right, spending more than you take in. Yep.
Exactly. When you overspend on a yearly basis, that's the deficit. The debt is the total amount we owe foreign and domestic, but the deficit is what we overspend per year.
Yeah, right.
And the deficit is very much under the president's control. The debt is more about Congress.
Oh, interesting. Oh, really? Huh.
Yes, because there's already baked in past laws about what has to be spent in terms of debt.
Oh, right. And the Congress controls the purse on some stuff.
Correct. And
they could choke out the bureaucracies if they wanted to, right?
Feasibly possible, yes.
That'd
But
be
also,
awesome.
you keep seeing they raise the debt limit almost every year, yeah?
Right. That's
I'm sure
ridiculous.
you've heard that.
Right. Yes.
Right.
I shake my head.
I mean, I know you were trying to provoke again we're talking about black crime, but I've been trying to tell you this for years, James. It's not
I
about,
wasn't trying to provoke. I was just talking about when you have a non-high trust society, a low trust society, that's a whole big, huge cost.
James, that's peanuts.
No, it's not.
even peanuts.
Wait. You're talking about peanuts. That is a huge cost. Have you ever heard of opportunity cost?
Of course.
Of course you have. And what type of opportunity cost is it when there's an unsafe community where it's not safe to do business and make money?
It means some other businesses won't go do business in that area.
Right. And no wonder
yeah.
those areas are so-called poor, because crime causes poverty.
Yes, but again, James, you look at the overall economic impact when talking about, crime, your local thug on the corner compared to interest rates and all the shenanigans I've been telling you for years now about the Fed and what's going on there, and how they decide to raise rates and what they do, and how they're literally stealing money from the American public. Now you heard it from a Nobel-winning prize economist. That is by far the biggest threat to American society.
See, we agree. Now, I don't know about biggest threat and all that stuff, but it's, let's just say the thugs and their supporters are what vote in these people.
James, the Fed does not get voted in; they get appointed.
Yeah, I know, but they vote in the people who don't audit the Fed.
I don't understand what you just said.
They vote in the people who don't audit the Fed. Look at the government. Couldn't the government audit the Fed? Isn't that something that the libertarians want us to do? Audit the Fed?
Currently, as it stands right now, James, there is the only checks and balances we have over the Fed is that the president appoints the Fed chairperson. That's it.
So there's no way to audit the Fed?
Currently, as it stands right now, no, there's not.
So the Congress could make up a law that says we get to audit the Fed, and then they can.
Again, be careful what you wish for. As you know, I'm no fan of the Fed, but until we have a reliable means to replace the Fed and what that looks like and how it's going to be monitored, I don't know. I just don't know.
So let's say, what is that word that's a big threat to America? Inflation. Inflation is a big threat.
Inflation, yeah.
And inflation came by way, in part, of the Fed. And the government, of course, is spending a whole bunch of money. And so then the person who brought us the Fed was Woodrow Wilson.
It's a great book. If you allow me to say the name.
Which is a bigger threat to the country, racism or inflation by way of the Fed and government spending?
I would say government spending and inflation, because that creates conditions that decimate people's lives, which lead to racism.
Right. And so then why are you supporting taking down these monuments to Woodrow Wilson, or changing the names of buildings or whatever, schools, named after Woodrow Wilson or whatever it was you told me last week, or 2 weeks ago maybe, when over his racism, when in reality he should be taken down because he brought us the Fed and the income tax and all these World War I, and he brought us the Fed.
He didn't really bring us the Fed.
Oh, I thought that he did the amendment that gave us the Fed.
Not really. It's more deep than that. It'd take a long time to explain it to you, but no, he didn't really bring us the Fed.
I thought that he was responsible for the Fed.
No, the Fed is an independent agency running completely independent of the U.S. government, other than the president appointing the Fed chairperson.
So it just...
And this, this, James, is
why...
But
he started the Fed. I thought that the Fed started under him.
All right, read The Creature from Jekyll Island.
Yeah, that was his people. Or no?
In part.
See? I kind of know what I'm talking about. I listened to Bill Lockwood.
Oh, Actually, for the most part, I like Lockwood.
Say again?
But for the most part, I like what Lockwood has to say. He's wrong on some things, and I've called upon it. But
of course. But he's...
For the most part.
He exposed Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to defend Woodrow Wilson. He was a piece of garbage.
Nice. Because of inflation, right? Not because of racism.
Both.
Oh. Well, whatever.
But, James.
Yeah.
Again, this is my big, big problem with a lot of presidents, including Trump. The deficit exploded under Trump, and that helped create the inflation we're seeing now. It's not all his fault, but it exploded under Trump.
Now,
and yes, before you said it was part COVID. Yes, it was, but still.
Right.
It was under his watch.
Now, did he or did he not feel the need to... A lot of that was military spending, right?
No, it was not.
Oh, I thought that he spent a lot on the military because he rebuilt the military.
Well, here's the problem, James. When you cut taxes for some, so you're reducing your revenue base.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, necessarily.
Wait. When you cut taxes, revenue goes up oftentimes. You know this.
No, it does not, James.
Yeah, it does. When you cut taxes, they make more money, and so they give you more tax money because you're taking a less percentage, and they're able to spend their money more wisely than the government does. Wilson could have vetoed the Federal Reserve Act. Says Big Bump. Boom.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
But Trump. But I'm surprised that you're disputing this. You're a Republican. Republicans know that when you cut taxes, revenue actually increases.
For the companies, James, yes, not for the federal government.
No. Revenue to the government.
James, you're talking about trickle-down economics.
You're using a buzzword. Is that okay? Trickle-down economics. Does that work or no?
Not an easy yes or no answer. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay, and so when you do cut taxes, sometimes revenue for the government even goes up.
No, James. When you cut taxes, that means less revenue for the government taking in. That's what it literally means.
But listen to this, because you're thinking in terms of a zero-sum game. The economy is not a zero-sum game.
Actually, it is.
No, it's not, because wealth is created. That worth is created out of a whole bunch of ions or whatever that you dig out of the ground. You're able to build a car battery, and that car battery is worth more than the ion raw elements. So you literally create value. So wealth is created. I mean, value is created out of something that wasn't there.
Again, you're talking...
So you're claiming that the economy is a zero-sum game, but it's not.
James, again, when you're talking, if trickle-down economics works perfectly...
I don't know why you're calling this trickle-down economics. I don't know what you mean I don't get why you're not just addressing me on my points.
I am, but you're not understanding.
Right, because you're using buzzwords like trickle-down economics that I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay, here's what it is.
Other than that, it was a buzzword used to smear Reagan falsely. But you're a Republican, so you know better than that.
It's not smearing Reagan.
It's meant to smear Reagan. Not by you. You may not mean it that way, but that's that's the only sense that I know about trickle-down economics.
James, if you just stop cutting me off for 10 seconds, I'll explain it to you.
Yeah.
Trickle-down means you cut taxes for the wealthy. They in turn use that revenue that they have, more revenue, to create more jobs, create more opportunities. The people who work for them create more jobs and opportunities, and therefore revenues as a whole go up and the economy benefits. That's basically it.
And that typically works, right?
Typically, I don't know. I mean, there's been so much debate back and forth on that. There's some studies that say yes, it works, some studies that say it doesn't work. But the bottom line, James...
That's because liberals can't acknowledge the truth. It's kind of like saying, I don't know why black crime increased after Black Lives Matter. We don't know. It's because criminologists can't acknowledge reality. So there's a big debate about it. But normal people know that it works. Can we agree with something like that? Because you're a black Republican, you should Oh, I got to get the snake puppet back. You're a black Republican. You should know that Reagan's economy was good and Trump's economy was good too.
Trump's economy was not Trump's economy. It was Obama's economy. Obama cut the deficit.
Oh, okay. You're a black
Trump.
Republican.
Yeah,
you're not a conservative or a Republican. You're
facts.
a black conservative or black Republican. Sorry, go ahead.
Think as you like. Again, Trump exploded the deficit. Obama cut it 75%. Those are just facts. Well documented, easily verified facts, period. End of story.
But that's not the end of the story because there's a whole lot of more factors than that.
Not really, no.
Yeah, huh?
Nuh-uh.
Yes, huh?
I mean, it doesn't matter why. I mean, yeah. Obama was handed a terrible recession. Trump was handed COVID. Yeah, things happen when you're president and you have to adjust.
So you've gotten away from addressing my point that when you cut taxes, revenue can go up.
We addressed that. That's what the whole trickle down was about, James.
So you acknowledge that I'm right then, that it can go up.
I've already said that in some cases it can, some cases it doesn't. They're very, very complicated to be very boring for your audience to go into.
Yeah, and then we should cut government spending. Anyway.
Well, yes, exactly. Government spending. You have a budget. You and I have a yearly budget. We can't go over it.
What was the bulk of Trump's spending if it wasn't the military? He increased social spending or something?
I can't say that for sure. I have to go back and look. All I know is that he exploded the deficit and the debt.
Oh, so you don't even know what he spent it on? Because there's good.
I used to.
There's good spending and bad spending. Was it bad spending?
I'll call back in later this week with the details.
Oh, okay. Let's hope that it's entertaining.
Anyway, that's all. But I'm glad you're finally listening to what I'm saying about the Fed and inflation, and it's a far bigger threat than anything else because it leads to a whole lot of other social ills. And it's not Joe saying that, it's Milton Friedman saying that. You just heard it.
Milton Friedman, I wonder, was he a Christian?
I think he was Jewish, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for the input, Joe in Phoenix.
All right, James. Have a good day.
You too. Bye. Whew. Jules Verne. What's up, Jules Verne? Jules Verne says, spending does not matter if you have the economy to back it up. Indeed. Indeed. Didn't Obama have the slowest recovery ever or something like that? I don't know. I just kept on remembering hearing him say dumb stuff like that. And then he did Obamacare, had the illegals coming in like crazy, increased crime, increased the fake idea of racism like crazy. Not him solely, but he and his ilk. He definitely didn't help the situation, nor did he want to. Yeah, indeed. Trump had stuff going again. Milton was agnostic, says modern day debate. But nobody's perfect. Meaning he didn't know, and sometimes agnostics are of the opinion that you can't know. I don't know how they arrive at that opinion, that you can't know. Obama economy stink. And that's from a former communist. Communists know. Jaime in Minnesota on the line here. Jaime, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Going well, thank you.
Hey, that old boy, Trump, he spent $2.1 trillion on the COVID relief. That's where all that spending came from.
Oh, was that a good idea? He said that he told one of my competitors in a competitor's podcast that he had to spend a lot of money, otherwise it was going to be a depression like the 1930s.
Exactly.
In your opinion, is he right about that?
Yeah. So Trump had it fixed during that time, but when Biden came in, he did it again.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And
he tried to give us Biden bucks, and we were like,
right.
We already got our Trump bucks. We don't care about your Biden bucks.
The money that went directly to the people was less than the money that they offered up for businesses.
Oh, right. Yeah. And there was a lot of fraud with the businesses, so the execution may not have been good, and you can maybe blame Trump for that a little bit.
Yeah, well, with Trump, they caught on to it and they got the money back.
Oh, nice.
But with Biden, who knows? Because a lot of it went to environmental stuff.
Oh.
You know, like, because they love the environment so much, they do it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Trump had it fixed. Most of the money was $2.1 trillion was COVID relief stuff. So if it wasn't for that, the deficit would have been much better.
Okay.
Joe doesn't know that because he can't think critically.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, he seems to have a pro-Obama bias, and I suspect, but I don't know, I suspect because he's black, Obama's black, and Joe's black, and he wants to see good examples of blacks, and also Joe's an intellectual, which is to say that he's, in his head and blind to, the basic reality. Right.
And it's like no snitch, culture.
Oh,
Same
you don't
exact
talk
thing.
badly about your fellow well-behaved black.
And I think there was a video
Shout
that Jesse had up about him, an old video of him interviewing pastors. And they showed that, too, that the black pastors wouldn't talk bad about other black pastors.
Yeah, that's true. Oh.
And they had that one Hispanic guy who was like, "What are you guys thinking? We love the Lord. We don't care about the blacks or, what other men think.
Right.
You got to talk bad about them." But anyways, with the other thing that cutting corporate taxes,
Yes.
that Trump guy, he cut it from something like 40 to down to 21 or something.
Yeah.
And
he was going to cut it down to
business
15 after this pretty soon if he gets in, maybe.
Right. What sends businesses away is taxes. Okay, so if you tax them higher, you're going to have less businesses to tax, and that's what Joe doesn't understand. He forgets. He thinks that every business is going to stay no matter what.
Yeah.
And that's false.
Right, and he kind of gets that because he indicated that the employees are going to spend money too because they'll be. And employees themselves can start side businesses, and it's easier to start a new business, and that's opportunity costs when you have all these regulations. Regulations, too, is a big thing that affects businesses' income, I heard. Maybe even more, and business, period, maybe even more than the high taxes.
That's true.
I heard Trump say that recently.
Yeah, so if Joe was a real critical thinker, he'd listen to both sides instead of just one side and question his own thoughts and feelings toward things and then try to prove himself wrong, which he doesn't.
Maybe he's too busy in the chat. I think our banning him from the chat may have been a good move because that will force him to listen more closely and with an open mind to JLP and Hake and Big Bump. And maybe he will realize that we're right about some of this stuff that he's assuming and scoffing that we're wrong about.
That's right. You got to take the cotton out of your ears and put it in your mouth.
When you're in the chat, you're distracted.
Oh, but the bipartisan border bill,
yes.
I believe that Hake from the Hake report gave, pretty in-depth story about that a while back ago about how most of the border agents they were going to hire were for processing asylum seekers. So they weren't even going to be protecting the border.
Right.
But
it was going to be a pathway to citizenship, I heard, from that guy who interviewed Kamala.
Right.
Yep.
And the other 1,000 border agents, 1,400, something like that.
Yeah.
It does depend where you put them. If you don't put them on the border, then they're not protecting the border. If you put them, like you had said, Obama put them 40 miles away.
Or 100 miles. It might have been 100 miles. I got an article from Big Bump saying it was 100. So
with Ronnie not thinking critically, he's got it. He's saying, "Oh, I don't know. I'd have to know." You can think critically if you're a critical thinker, but this guy's not a critical thinker. He's,
what do you mean? What's critical thinking?
Well, when you think critically, you get an idea, and then you ask, "Is this idea wrong?" in what areas is this idea wrong? How can I prove this idea wrong? And then you go, okay, is this idea right? How can I prove it right? Now, it's a lot of working with ideas back and forth.
Okay.
And a lot of this stuff, you got to listen to both sides. You know, we talk a lot about politics. So
Yeah.
Bipartisan border bill is political. I heard Kamala say something about it, and I was like, oh, well, why did the Republicans choose to go against it? I need to know. I need to think critically about this and listen to them, listen to their reasonings, and see if they have any weight, any merit. And then I got to listen to what Kamala's side says about it and think critically. But then I got to think, do I agree with that? I'm not a globalist. I'm more of a nationalist, so I disagree. Now, all these ideas that she has are good for a globalist economy. Bring more people in, get them processed, get them citizenship, get them an ID, get them, make them a citizen.
Yeah.
That's good for a globalist, but for me, it's bad. And Trump saying whatever his opinion is on it, people respect him.
Right.
Nationalists do, because globalists respect them too in a different way.
True.
But
they really do.
all those other Republicans, they're critical thinkers. A lot of them, not most of them, but some of them, they can make their own decisions. So it wasn't so much that Trump said and killed it. It was a lot of people like me saying, hey, those are bad ideas. We wouldn't want them. I don't have any power to vote it or anything, but you know what I mean?
Nice.
So that's why I say Ronnie and Joe and Kamala, they're not critical thinkers. They don't think for themselves.
I think that if you become aware that you don't know, then that can help. That can go a long way. Because a lot of times people don't know that they don't know. When you leave things as I don't know, that's important.
Yeah.
And then you stick with what you know. And then you reference stuff that people say or that you believe may be true, but you leave it room for I don't know. Anyway, interesting. I appreciate it. Jaime in Minnesota.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye. Okay. Let's see what we can do over here. So shout out to Milton Friedman. Agnostic. Nobody's perfect. McDonald's. They freaked out on McDonald's. McDonald's didn't give Trump permission to serve fries. This is like the old story. Remember when Trump served the fries? They didn't need to because they're a franchise. They give the franchises the freedom to do what they want. The McDonald's corporate has no say over what you do with your own store. You can have Trump do a little thing there. I think that's what the point of this article is. Because the McDonald's have been thrust into the 2024 election. And it's crazy because the lynch mob, I don't even think it's fair to call it, it's not fair to lynch mobs to call them a lynch mob. Because lynch mobs, well, they are angry oftentimes, and they may be rushing to judgment. So maybe in most cases, lynch mob is a fair thing. But these people are just not even fair. The mob, you know? McDonald's does not endorse candidates for elected office. We're not red or blue. We're golden. A shout out. There was a funny story. Franchisees, 95% of all McDonald's locations are franchise operators. They pay a royalty rate to use the McDonald's brand for access to its expertise and other expenses, renovations, and other stuff. Starbucks got in trouble recently. Oh, look at this. McDonald's operator in Israel offered a discount to soldiers in Israel, to soldiers and security forces after Hamas's October 7th attack, After news of this promotion was disseminated on social media, many customers began boycotting McDonald's because McDonald's customer base are poor, lame-o Hamas supporters or Palestinian supporters. You know, so there's some lame-os in chat. Free Palestine in chat. Are you in chat? Free Palestine? I think he is. A shout out. I happen to know it's a he. Doxed his gender. And he's actually an alpha man. Oh, come on. Don't promote drugs to me. Okay. That McDonald's cited Middle East boycotts on their earnings as a drag on their business over the past several quarters because the Muslim-dominated. They began boycotting McDonald's in Muslim-dominated countries. Oh, okay. Come on, Muslims. I mean, there are other reasons not to eat McDonald's. What a mess. Did I cover Starbucks? Is Starbucks mentioned in this? Nope. Darn. There might be another one here. Trump thrusts McDonald's into the political arena in the final days. Well, I think that it was Kamala who did it, right? Did she claim to have worked at McDonald's? Let me read to you about Starbucks. What the heck? What the hake? Oh, maybe it's... What? Stop it. Is that the same article that I just clicked on? No, I don't think it is. Anyway, it's not important. But Starbucks got in trouble for other things too. You know, because the liberal, lame-o, lynch mob, busybody people. I know we have been busybodies. We don't like when they push the Black Lives Matter mess or the gay agenda mess. So, Lord. They're acting like Trump was lewd. Please. We don't care about your lewdness. We don't care about your phony, all of a sudden wanted to be pure lewdness. Look at this. The bitter skim. Here's another thing. This is related to the McDonald's thing. And this is why I want to go buy me a quarter pounder in defiance of E. coli. Forget E. coli. Trump sells shirts to commemorate his staged McDonald's shift. This is from last week, okay? On a far-left extremist New York magazine Intelligencer, whatever that means. MAGA Donalds. Did you see that? Isn't that cute? I don't know if I'm going to get one, but it's just, I thought it was kind of nice. From Trump watches to Trump sneakers to Trump Bibles. It's not Trump Bibles. It's called Make America Great Again Bible, I think. Trump has been hawking all kinds of merchandise recently. He's an enterprising young man. Yes, 75 is relatively young, or 78, whatever he is. Right on, MAGA Donalds. Feasterville, PA, remember that. If you're ever in PA, make sure you go to the Feasterville McDonald's. Very nice. Right on. Fry cook. I have a McGift for Lord. I am the first and only 2024 presidential nominee to work at McDonald's. Nice. Right on. Right on, President Trump. And why do they have to say staged? Why do they say, oh, his staged McDonald's shift? That's bitterness talking. Ill-humored people. Lamos. Who is this Margaret Hartman? She doesn't necessarily write the headlines. The editor writes the headlines, which is something that I learned when this woman whom Jesse Lee Peterson interviewed, Robin Abkarian, said she had this headline. No, she wrote this article, and the headline of it she did not write, but the headline was something to the effect of, this is 2014, Los Angeles Times writer, woman. all this hype back then about the knockout game. It's not real. Something to that effect. Let me see if I can find it. Just because she's like, I wished that my editor hadn't chosen that headline. Knockout game myth, Los Angeles Times. Robin Abkarian. The knockout game faux media trend jumped the shark, December 2013. I don't know if that's the one. Robin Abkarian. Oh my God, parents, quick, lock up your... They might have changed it. I'm curious now. Archive.is, right? Let's see if this is in here. This is important to me, guys. Oh, it's not in there? Well, that's not it then. What in the world? Okay. Well, JLP interviewed her, and it was something interesting. Anyway, assaults in which a person attempts to make an unsuspecting victim lose consciousness with a single hit. One hitter quitter. Knockout game alive? Oh, heck no. And that's Colin Flaherty. Shout out. Anyway, they have a hard time acknowledging reality. These liberals. I forget why I went into that. Oh yeah, because she might not have written that headline. Going after Trump and saying, "Oh, it's staged." Everybody calling it staged. Anyway, let's get back to calls, guys. I would like to. We're approaching the top of the hour here. Mark in Los Angeles, California, on the line here. What's up, Mark? How you doing?
Real good, thank you. I wanted to talk, and I'll just mention this briefly. The Madison Square Garden rally was great. It really was. President Trump went right into the heart of the beast.
Nice.
And he got so. Did you watch it?
I have not.
Oh man, how could you miss that?
I didn't even really know about it.
It's been all over the news, but that's okay.
Well, I only read CNN morning updates, so. Oh,
the Commie News Network. Well, they probably didn't even, put it on there.
They barely made any mention of it.
Yeah, and on MSLSD, they were showing the rally, but they were basically talking over Trump and inserting their own communist views onto the show. And speaking of communist views, I tried to call in last Friday. I was kind of busy, and I only heard the beginning of the show, unfortunately. And you had your gaslighting co-host really lying about Haiti. I didn't catch the whole lie that he gave, but by the time it was over, he's probably got some of the dopes in your chat believing that it was the whites who killed the Haitians.
Wow.
When really it was a genocide against every white man, woman, and child. Another white genocide was in South Africa. Another white genocide was in Rhodesia. And there is a slow motion genocide against the white man in this country. In regards to his gaslighting effects on your show today, apparently they're having some effect. I see some of the dopey people in the comments saying that he's right and you're wrong. And everything he said was wrong. The only reason the deficit went up under Trump, twofold. We had a hurricane in Puerto Rico, and we had to raise the debt to get them out of trouble. And the COVID situation, which totally threw the Trump economy upside down. So communists like your co-host can get up on TV or get on your show, rather, and say, see, Trump raised the deficit. He's a bad guy. Oh, one other thing about regulations. The scumbag from Phoenix, the liar, tries to say that Obama cut more regulations than anybody. The truth is Trump cut more regulations than all the previous presidents combined.
Nice.
When he says that, when the snake says that.
And where did you get that? Where did you get that he cut more regulations than all the presidents.
From Trump himself. Right from Trump
Nice.
himself. Okay?
Right on.
But one other thing that needs to be, brought up on this scumbag commie from Phoenix who's gaslighting you guys like crazy. The white supremacy terror threat that's supposed to be the worst group in the country for terror, that's an outright lie that he propagated, along with the lie about Elijah Muhammad behind the killing of Malcolm X. These are all slanderous lies. When he said to Krishan the Don, you guys had him on, and he tried to say that he was upset about Trump, the attempted shooting of Trump. Why would he be upset? The only thing he was upset about is they didn't get him. They didn't shoot him.
Oh, come on. You don't know.
Wish on me. No, wait a minute. He put a death wish on me. He didn't get banned. You heard what he said about Asmodor. He didn't get banned. And furthermore, he is not banned in the comment section. The snake shed his skin, and he calls himself Ghost Patrick.
No, that's not the same guy, man. I'm quite sure.
Just read what he says. He sounds just like the creep. Well, what was his handle on the comment section that you banned him? Chartreux, or something like that. That was before. I follow that devil.
How are you? No, you're too old to be concerned with what's going on in the chat. You're supposed to be a grown and mature man.
No, I understand. But you said you banned him and you didn't. Nothing personal. But he's.
But you don't. But you're making an assumption, and I don't even care or want to talk about this. Move on. Next subject.
Okay, fine. All I'm saying is when you ban somebody.
I gotta go, Mark. Take it.
He gets 20 minutes. I get 5 minutes.
Right, because you keep on going when I tell you to stop.
Okay, I'll stop. Go ahead. What do you want to ask?
No, I'm done.
Okay, ban me and don't ban the snake.
Why would I ban you? I just said I don't want to talk about something, so I'm done with your call.
You gave Satan 20
I'm not
minutes.
banning you. I'm just saying hanging up with you.
You're cutting me off.
Yeah, I'm cutting you off because you're so immature that you're talking about the chat.
Okay, so I'll drop it.
No, but you kept on going. You kept on going because you're kind of an out of control, angry Irishman.
Okay, let me say this.
Yeah.
I won't mention the chat. The only reason I brought it up.
No, don't. Okay. I don't care. Don't even bring it up. Okay. Go to the next subject.
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank you.
Let's go on with Trump's Madison Square Garden rally.
Yes,
that's fair. Okay, he had an all-star cast, and they hit it out of the ballpark. I think Trump is going to take New York. I think he's going to win the state.
He might.
Unless there's funny business.
No, there's never funny business. He might or might not. It's a toss-up.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a toss-up in the past. And as far as California goes, I don't think he'll have a chance when the governor goes out of his way to protect illegal aliens voting by making it a crime to ask for ID. So, I feel that Trump will win, but, with all the lies that are going on and the gaslighting, the one thing
has it been reported that he's making it a crime to ask for ID for voter ID?
Yeah. Well, that was last week's news. Newsom passed the law that any poll worker who asks for ID can be criminally prosecuted.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, I thought you had talked about that.
No, somebody called me and told me that they can get in trouble or that they were trying to, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what my point is, Trump had the best economy until the China virus hit, and I think that was not an accident. And,
no, I know, and I think that they love to make it bad. They love to make the economy bad when a president is in whom they don't like. They being the liberals, the locals, all the people, because they stay fine. The politicians,
the white haters, the communists. Those are the ones that hate Trump. The people that are doing good for the shrinking white majority in our country. Those are the people they're going to go after. Yep. Those are the people that they're going to lie about and take them on these lawfare cases. All are going to be dropped. And seriously, I sincerely believe President Trump has strength straight from God. Look at the 2 assassination attempts that failed. Look at all the slanderous lies that they're telling about him. And look who's lying. Look who's doing the lying. The same people that want to make us a minority and take away our rights are the same people that are attacking Trump. You know it and I know it. And all these lies coming from your co-host, and he's succeeding in gaslighting a lot of dummies.
Trump has remained unshaken, which is pretty cool.
That's because he's got strength from God.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
He really does. And so I'll end with this. If he's got his strength from God, where is the other side getting their strength from?
They don't have any strength, but they're all satanic.
No, they are getting strength from Satan.
Numbers. They love the numbers, the crowd. They get the crowd on their side, the crowd is always, devil worshipers. Shout out.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
And with all these illegals flooding in, whose side do you think they're going to be on?
They tend not to be for what's right. Some of them are. Including illegals. I've known some illegals who realize that racism doesn't exist, that Trump is the man for the job, the whites are all right. But most of them, evil. Suckers. Brainwashed.
Yeah. And that's why they're being brought in by the millions.
Yeah.
And lastly, if Trump does win and he attempts to deport these demons, what he needs to do, and this is a personal opinion, he needs to have a civilian force to aid in the military and the police in getting these demons out of here. I'm serious.
Don't call them demons, man. They're people.
Well, when you eat dogs and cats,
I'm okay with it.
You voodoo worship, I'd say you're one step away from Satan.
Right, but yeah, that's most of us. Anyway, I appreciate it, Mark. Good to hear from you.
God bless.
You as well. Bye. What fun times we're living in, aren't we? Some super chats, fellas, ladies, gents. Yeah, the only mention of the Trump rally was Madison Square Garden in New York. He doubled down on his promise for a massive deportation program day one to reverse the immigrant invasion, United States an occupied country. And the Democrats projected messages on the exterior of the arena. Madison Square Garden is an arena, okay? I literally thought it was like a garden, maybe it was a garden inside of Times Square. But no, it's actually an arena. It's where they box, they would go boxing. And also they have basketball and hockey. Trump, they projected messages. The Democrats projected that Trump is unhinged. They are projecting. The Democrats are unhinged against Trump, and they think that Trump is the unhinged one when they're the ones who are unhinged. Unhinged means off your rocker, right? Means that you're going every which way, because you're supposed to be hinged right here and go smoothly and orderly, which is Trump, right? Smooth and orderly and forceful. And now it's off the hinge and it's going every which way and not unforceful. It's wild. Hake informing us what Madison Square Garden is. Hockey is back, I hear, by the way. And Trump praised Hitler. Ooh. You know who's worse than Hitler? You. Because you're alive still. You're doing evil to this day. Hitler is not doing anything. He's just lying there. Or I don't know. Looking up or looking down. I guess. Imagine thinking you're hinged. Yeah. These Democrats, they think they're hinged. Yeah, that's a funny term. Thank you. Anyways, back to the super chats for the first time today. Several super chats have come in, at least 2. Based America First says, watched your competitor, Joe Rogan, interview Donald J. Trump. He's my competitor. And he interviewed the man. Best Trump comment at 28 minutes, 50 seconds. Some of these women, they're so stupid. I remember that comment. Nice. Good catch, Based America First. Some of these women, they're so stupid. Why didn't Kamala show up for a JRE interview when all she had to do was smoke pot, sorry kids, and listen to Tupac? The most conservative actor available for Trump's Coachella rally a couple weeks ago was Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid, he's conservative. He's not that good, so he must be conservative. No, he's a pretty good actor, right? He's okay. He said, Dennis Quaid said it was time to pick a side and vote for either the Constitution or TikTok. He promoted his Reagan movie, and he admitted to employing illegally a Mexican for 20 years. What? I could imagine him doing that. Dennis Quaid. A friendly conservative, so-called, somewhat conservative actor. A little bit over the hill. Which is what we get. Hey, I'll take it. Saying, I'm not racist. I hired an illegal for 20 years. We love the Mexicans. We love doing stuff illegal. No, I don't know why he did it. I don't know. I didn't catch him at Coachella or near Coachella. Trump in California. Coachella is out. I think I want to say it's past and a little bit south of Palm Springs is that away. Right here, you're looking at Santa Monica is back west over here. The sun is setting. And over that away is Coachella. I've never been. I've been to Palm Springs. I've been to Palm Desert. Anyway, this is not important. I don't know why. Randy Quaid is MAGA too. Is he the crazy one? He's the one who's like, he's unhinged. He's not unhinged. He's just off his rocker. Randy Quaid, right? Crazy person. But we really like him, though, I think. I think that Handyman 540 was complaining about there was a comedian or something that said that Puerto Rico is just a pile of trash floating around in the ocean, something like that. Don't hurt yourself flexing. Palm Springs is gay now. Yeah, it used to be beautiful. It's still beautiful because, you know, they keep it relatively nice, except when they just flaunt their dirt, their not moral straightness. But they used to be really beautiful because it was a bunch of retiring people. But I didn't really care. I think that people tend to overreact. Maybe it was a joke that fell flat, or maybe it was funny, but people overreacted to it. Shout out to the Puerto Ricans. I saw Cortez overreacting, posting on X, or pretending to, right? Nobody cares. Well, people do care. I heard the Puerto Ricans put on a bat call on yesterday. They ran the numbers on the battleground states not good. You can call that self-inflicted, says Handyman 540. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know how numerous the Puerto Ricans are. And if they're that petty that they want to kill the country because they got offended because somebody joked about their little island American territory that they know doesn't get taken care of well because they have a big corruption problem. That's a them problem. Yeah, so you can call that self-inflicted too if they're going to go against our greatest president over that. It's pretty pathetic if you ask me. But nice. Yeah, whatever. Popcorn Thump Keg bought a coffee. I had an interesting conversation with an Uber driver recently. Shout out to the Uber drivers. Friendly popcorn. We started talking about youth and who were getting in trouble for trying to clean people's car windows. Oh, youth who were getting in trouble trying to clean people's car windows at intersections. It was causing friction when drivers did not want their services. Shame on those people. Normally, the good beggars, even though they're not good, but the sensible beggars, they ask you for money, or they're like, hey, let me clean your window. No. Okay, God bless. Thank you. Have a good day. That's what you do. You don't get mad. Talk about demonic youth. Causing friction when the drivers didn't want their services. The driver said to me, why don't they go get a job at McDonald's? I responded, would you work at McDonald's? To which he replied, absolutely not. Fast food work stinks. I wonder if he spoke from experience. People have all these bright ideas, says Popcorn Thump Keg, for what other people should do, but when they get pressed, turns out they wouldn't do it themselves. But they also wouldn't clean people's car windows, so who cares? What's your point? Well, let him continue. Let's let him continue. I've seen kids go out and walk the street with a push mower going door to door trying to make money mowing lawns. And the same people who say, why don't they get a job, wouldn't pay them $20 to mow their lawn. Why should they? It's always pawning them off on other people. But there's plenty of jobs around. Same goes with adoption. Oh, put the child up for adoption, but ask the people who say why they haven't adopted, and you'll get some interesting responses. Oh, well. Oh, you're suggesting the abortion adoption thing? Is that what you're bringing up? Have the kid. It's funny how Popcorn Thump Keg thinks that... I don't know what you're getting at, Popcorn Thump Keg, but I don't want to put words in Popcorn Thump Keg's mind. But a lot of these people who say, the pro-lifers say, don't kill the baby, put it up for adoption. If you don't want to raise the baby, I say have the baby, raise the baby. Or if you can't, then put the baby up for adoption. You are responsible for getting pregnant, woman or young lady who got pregnant. Most of the time it's her fault. She got pregnant. If you want to call it a fault, her responsibility, her life. You are responsible for being in such a supposedly desperate situation that you go annoy people with window washing and you won't go to McDonald's because you can work McDonald's. It's not that bad. That's the first place I would go. Or maybe Starbucks, really. Hopefully before it gets unionized, because I don't want to work for the unions. And hopefully in a nicer area where there's not a whole bunch of homeless bums. A shout out to the homeless bums. And hopefully like a less diverse area. Asian, white, maybe a few Mexicans. Some blacks. But anyway, you are responsible, young lady, for getting pregnant. You are responsible for having that child. You are responsible. There's plenty of people who want to adopt. I don't think that there's a shortage of people who want to adopt. Maybe there is. Unfortunately, they're trying to get the gays adopted, and they already are. Shout out, but not good. Not wise. Not the best way. But like JLP said, fathers, don't work at Starbucks, Hake. He does look like he could be a Starbucks barista. Hey, man, it's a baristo. Baristissimo. Hake looks like he sells cars. I take that as a compliment. Imagine Hake working for commie Starbucks. They wouldn't be having the sex out of wedlock if they were not so corrupt and messed up by their own parents and family. And you want to put it on us to adopt their children just because we know that killing the baby is a dumb idea, an evil idea, and should be illegal to kill babies, right? Trying to make us responsible for other people's responsibility. Typical. I don't know if fast food work stinks. My friends worked at fast food. One of them didn't know how to supersize me. Every time they said supersize me, he would just give it to them. And he was Asian. And not that, he was not one of the smarter Asians, but he was relatively smart. Anyway. Bleeding heart popcorn thump cake. Was this a pro-abortion coffee? Is this what a pro-abortion coffee is? Was this a pro-abortion? I'll take your pro-abortion money, and I will engage with the pro-abortion coffees. Very nice. Thank you, popcorn thump cake. And thanks, Lin Yin Chin. I saw your super chat over there. Indeed. Very cool. What's up to the Rumble people? Anyway, while I'm saying hello to the Rumble people, that's not Hake. While I'm saying hello to the Rumble people and the D-Live crew, what's up, D-Live crew? Kilo Alpha Tango with the ice cream. Thanks, man. D-Live chat is fun. Check that out. You see Hake, you see some guy. That's the general mix where I live. Mostly Asian, some Mexican, few blacks. Shout out. Let me get to a call here, guys. Andrew in Scotland is on the line here. Andrew, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? Oh, he hung up on me. Sorry, Andrew. I like the Scottish. I also like the people from Massachusetts who pretend like they're Scottish. He hung up on me. Is that Andrew again from Scotland? Let me know. Let me know when you get... Is it Andrew? Oh, okay. Andrew from Scotland, are you there?
I am indeed, sir.
Nice.
Hello.
Hey, good to hear from you.
Nice one. I called you before, and the last time I called you, I was talking about one step forward, two steps back. This time I'm calling you to ask you about what you think about the fact that I come from a...
Say again? That you come from what?
I was adopted, and the family I was adopted from, they know how to make money, but not store it and use it wisely. But the family I was adopted into, they know how to store money and treat it wisely. I know I'm starting to come into a little bit of money myself, and I wondered what your advice might be about that.
Oh, well, take the best thing from both of those families so that you can spend wisely and save wisely, I suggest.
Well, I think there's a little bit of a problem here because I don't like people who hoard money, and that's what the family who adopted me do.
Oh.
But I also don't like people who gamble away all their money, which is pretty much what my biology tells me to do whenever I've got money.
Because the family you were born into blows the money. I don't know if that's your biology, but I would say...
Well, I don't know if it's my biology either. That's why I'm asking you.
Right. I suggest there's another way between both of those things. There's a balance in hoarding and spending. We call it saving and spending wisely. There is a wise way. Are you pretty responsible?
No.
No? Well, try to be responsible. Really?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Are you doing JLP's silent prayer?
Of course. I've been doing that for about 2 years now.
And that hasn't helped you with being a little bit more responsible and even you out in terms of your habits and things?
Yeah, it certainly has helped me with some of my bad habits, but it's not helped me become more responsible, or else I wouldn't be calling you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I speak to quite a lot of people about this, and the only person I would really have spoke to about this would have been my stepdad, but he's dead. So, and I know what he would say. He would say, you've got to learn that money is actually not even money. You've got to learn that money is like a way to navigate through life correctly. And every time you get money, you just spend it. So you're not really navigating through life correctly, because every time you get money, the first thing you want to do is just spend it, the whole lot.
Wow.
And the most I can save is about £5,500, and as soon as I get to that marker, I'm like, I'm going to spend all this on me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you don't have the discipline to, let's say, I don't know if you guys have direct deposit in the old land in Scotland, but if you can you put it into an account that you just refuse to touch, put like 10%.
Yeah, that's why I'm sorry for interrupting you, but that's what I used to do. My dad was alive. I'd store it with him, and then every time I wanted to take a bit, my dad would ask me, what are you going to use this for? But even if I said, I'm just going to spend it all and I'm going to have a nice weekend and spend loads of money on myself, he'd still just give me it back, but he'd say, are you sure that you want to spend it all on you? And I'd say, yeah, and I'd just spend it all on me. But he said, one day you'll have to learn how to deal with money. And now that I'm in my mid-40s and I'm starting to make a little bit of money that I want to keep.
Nice.
I don't really know how to do it. How to keep it and use it correctly.
It sounds like you're just out of control. Are you right? Is that accurate? It's not that you don't know how, because you know that you should save some of it, but you just can't help or you just haven't been able to help but just blow it every now and then. Every time you get 5,500 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, that's it. It's like I can actually save money up until the point where I've got enough to blow it, and then as soon as I've got enough to blow, then I blow the whole lot, every penny.
You get frustrated over that?
Yeah, that's why I'm calling you, sir.
That's part of the problem then, maybe. Because
I'm getting frustrated.
Yeah, because that's when you're blowing that money, that's for yourself, that's for your ego, that's for thrills, and that's a high. That's for chasing a high, and then when you have that high, you have this low of frustration, and just be even. I did this. Watch, this is funny, sort of. I busted my phone yesterday. I don't know if you might not be able to make it out, but I broke my phone yesterday.
I'm not watching you because there seems to be a problem when I try and watch the show.
Oh, I'm glad you're not. I'm just showing a cracked phone for the people who can watch. I broke this because I was at the gym and I was going to put my phone inside my bag. I opened my bag. I wasn't looking at what I was doing though, and I dropped it. And I thought I dropped it into my bag, but after I dropped it, I heard this clack, 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 clack. And it was my phone, and it was on the floor. And I was like, oh, man. And I was tempted to be upset. I think I am / was a little bit upset about it. But there's no reason to be upset about that or about blowing your money because you're still taken care of. And maybe you have to pinch a little bit more. Maybe you have to, I don't know. You have to do this or that. Maybe you're making your life a little bit more inconvenient, but it should not unsettle you in your spirit inside, whether you spend that money or not. Just be.
Well, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. No, I wanted to tell you a really quick story about my granddad, because my granddad had this issue with money as well.
Yeah.
But then I got the chance to spend some time with my granddad, and we're both guitarists, and we played our guitars and that, and we had a good laugh and blah, blah, blah. But then my granddad showed me, everybody thought that he'd spent all his money, but he didn't. What he'd actually done was he'd invested it all in guitars, and guitars only appreciate in value.
Oh, cool.
So he actually hid his money as opposed to wasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he didn't tell any of the family members. All the family members thought that he'd sold his own house and all that because he was a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
And they thought he'd spent it all on alcohol. But in actual fact, he'd invested in guitars, which he was also keeping for himself. You know what I'm saying? When I see there's enough money for me to blow it, I want to spend it all on me. And
Yeah.
my granddad was doing the same thing, but he was so sneaky that he held all the guitars, and he actually probably had about, I don't know, £150,000 worth of guitars in his house, and nobody even knew that he had them. That's how secretive he was about it.
Maybe you can, rather than blow all of it, maybe you can invest some of it because there's an other alternative to saving. This is just a practical thing. I gave you what I think is like spiritual advice, which is don't get upset. Or if you are upset, catch yourself being upset. Just watch. And
yeah, I agree with that part. I'm
Yeah.
with you there, sir. I'm with you up to this point.
And so another practical thing, rather than just saving it, some of it you should save and keep the cash ready for an emergency or for an opportunity to invest. But maybe there's something that you can invest in, because it sounds like your grandpa or somebody invested in the guitars and made money off of that, or increased the value of what he had based on that. But maybe there's some type of thing that you can invest in. Or maybe you can start a business rather than go on vacation. Since you're in your 40s, you don't need to be going on vacations. You're still young and strong, and you can start a business or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I've already started a business.
Nice.
And I am investing because I know that the only way out of this is to learn how to invest. The issue that I've got here is the only thing that I can invest in is myself. But the problem is when I invest in myself, then I spend all the money.
Yeah. And then when you spend the money, you're mad, right? You're a little bit frustrated.
Yeah.
You feel guilty or whatever.
Oh, yeah, no, I get really angry. I've had problems with the police and everything just because I've spent all my money.
Don't fall into that trap.
No, I don't fall into it anymore. That's why I'm talking to you.
So you're not angry anymore? You're not angry about blowing your money anymore?
No.
Nice.
No, I'm not angry about it anymore. I'm just, I find it such a complicated thing for me. And it reminds me of my biological mother, my biological granddad, and I watched how they behaved with money, and I've just fallen into the same trap as them.
I have another
people who adopted me. Okay.
I have another idea about what may be holding you back a little bit. You have this idea that because your family is this way, you're kind of stuck this way. But if you don't believe those ideas, that may help you, because sometimes people fall into these doubts, these beliefs that they cannot shake this or that thing. Like they literally, I remember JLP telling one time that he didn't think that he could live without having sex. And so he was always having a girl. He always had a girlfriend. And
yeah, I remember him discussing.
That's a belief that that held him back in life because he believed that he needed this thing. So too, it might be that you're believing that you can't help but blow this money and it's complicated, when in reality it's not complicated, and you're just believing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you 100%, but it's easier said than done when you got used to this sort of behavior, because it's not one self-store.
I get you.
I've done it like 10 times, and I've stored up this money, and one of the reasons I store it up is for dental health, because I'm actually a musician, and you've got to be able to smile nice when you're a musician and so on.
Nice.
But every single time I get the money and I store it up and I'm ready to do the right thing, the first thing that comes to my brain is I'm just going to spend it. Honestly, it literally comes into my brain and spend it. Spend it now.
That's one of those thoughts that you have to doubt. And let's say you don't doubt that thought and you spend it. Don't doubt the next thought to be mad about it. to be frustrated about it. Don't doubt the next thought that you won't be able to stop it the next time. Stay present. I totally get you that once you cross those lines, and you've done it, you made a habit out of it. It's a mental thing, but it's all in your head. It's all mental, man.
Yeah, I know it is, man. I know it is. I just needed to hear another person say it. That's why I called you up.
I appreciate it. It's a great. It's actually.
For that.
It's a great topic.
Yeah, well, it's one that I'll give you just a last little bit of information on this.
Okay.
I work on a Christmas tree farm, and every year, before you guys get your Christmas trees, little gnomes like me have to do the work to bring you your Christmas tree.
Awesome.
But this is the time of year where I make this 4 or 5 times what I make the rest of the year every day.
Seasonal.
And this is when I spend all my money.
Okay, yeah.
It's the only time that you make your money. You make your money at a thing called the harvest, and you go from making about £13.50 an hour, which would be about, I don't know, $16 or $17. It goes from that all the way up to £40 an hour. So you're into the big money.
Based.
And then I spend it.
Yeah.
I don't spend it on Christmas presents. I spend it on me.
Right. I mean, you shouldn't spend it on Christmas presents either. Don't fall for that one.
No.
I mean, unless
I've
you
never
want
fell
to.
for that one.
Right.
No, I class Christmas as payoff season. I pay off my sisters. I pay off mom and my dad's dead, but I pay off everybody. And I say, what is the number of the money this year? And my mum says it's £15 for everybody. I say, fine, give them 30 because I don't even remember people's birthdays. And I just pay off my family every Christmas. So
that's funny.
Christmas costs me £290
so you are giving money. You're giving away money to your family like that. You don't necessarily have to do that, man. Don't do it out of guilt anyway.
No, I didn't do
Or
it out of
habit.
guilt. I'm just paying. I'm paying off these people because they've decided that Christmas is a time where everybody gets a little payoff. So I'm more than happy to give you £30.
But wait a minute. They decided it. It doesn't sound like you decided it in your heart.
No. My mum decided it because my mum said, my mum's a very tight woman with money.
Nice.
That's why these people can hold money.
Yeah.
And she says, we've made the Christmas present £15, so that's all anybody spends on each other. And I says, well, that's fine, because I don't care about people's birthdays either. So I'll just pay everybody £30, and then every Christmas, that's your payoff for Christmas and your birthday. But I don't even know my little sister's birth dates or anything.
Funny.
I don't care about that stuff.
What would happen
But
if you didn't give? What would happen if you didn't give them anything?
Well, last year I decided not to give them anything. Funny you should ask.
Yeah.
And what I said is, next time I see you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a fair appraisal. And my little sisters, I only paid them £20 because they turned 40 this year. And I said, this is a payoff. And next time I see you, I am going to irritate you about how much you don't like getting old. So that's why I paid them off.
But. So you still gave them something eventually, or you promised to give them something eventually?
No, I never made them any promises.
Oh, okay.
I recognised it was their 40th birthday, they're twins, and I told them, here's 20 quid, and next time we talk again, I'm going to spend all the time irritating you about how much you're scared of being old.
Wow. Dang. It sounds like you have an antagonistic relationship with your sisters.
I have an antagonistic relationship with every single person I've ever met. You can laugh at me as much as you want.
No, I'm not laughing at you. But that's funny. I mean, it's funny, but it's reality. Well, then don't give them anything, man. It sounds like you just. Anyway.
Exactly. Honestly, that wasn't not the subject matter I wanted to talk about.
No, I know, but it sounds like money comes in. Money is involved even in your family. Let go of this fake responsibility to give even to your family, and let go of the fake idea that you can't beat this because it's in your blood, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's not a hereditary problem. It's a problem of the mind.
Yeah, and a lot of people never overcome that stuff. But hey, let's say you never overcome it. You're a working man. You're keeping your dental health. Your dental health means your heart's going to do okay. Don't worry about the future. Because worrying is only going to make you worse. And it'll mess up your health.
I agree with that, because I'll worry myself into an early grave if I keep up this.
Right. And then, or you'll worry yourself into debtor's prison because you're going to get bad health. You might not die, but you get bad health, and then you have to blow a bunch of money on health stuff. And you won't have that saved money. But worrying is no good.
I completely concur with you on that.
You've lived a comfortable life so far, right?
Oh, yeah. I've been.
So
it was a blessing, adopted. So
No, but money-wise, you have not hurt for money, really.
No, sir, never.
Yeah, so then don't worry about the fact that in the past you have blown money, and don't worry about the possibility that in the future, because it doesn't even exist yet, you may blow more money. And don't worry in the midst of blowing money, when you find yourself blowing money, stop it if you can, which you can. But if you don't worry about that either.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And I always like to leave any decent conversation on a positive note.
Sounds
good.
And
this is how I've worked out to do it lately. So, can I ask you, what are your 3 favorite songs?
Yes. My Bike by GOAT, Queen Maggot by 90 Pound Wuss, and Softly and Tenderly by LN.
Nice. That was the fastest answer I've ever had to your top 3 favorite songs.
Nice, man.
I wasn't even going to catch up with you. My 3 favorite songs at the moment are James Morrison. He's a guy from England, and he says he's got a song called "You Give Me Something," and it's about romance and that. But it's a beautiful song. And I always love Whitney Houston's songs, but my favorite one of hers is the one where she's talking about standing alone, like the greatest love of all is the love inside of you, or something like that. Can't remember.
Right on.
The third one is a lady called Gabrielle from England, and she's never really penetrated the American charts, but you should check her out. And she's called Gabrielle, and one of her songs is called Rise, and that's a beautiful song.
Cool, man. Well, thank you. Classy.
No, thank you. Keep your time.
Take care, Andrew. Let me know how it goes. I'm interested. After the busy season.
Yeah, exactly. I'll see what happens when I gain this 5,000 pounds, and I'll tell you if I manage to keep it this time. All right.
Sounds good, man. Take care.
Thank you for your time.
All right.
Goodbye.
Bye. Andrew in Scotland. Hake and his obscure music. Right on. He had 3 classy lady singers, even though one was called a crack at one point, because she lived a mess of a life. So many of us do. Not good. Another coffee from Popcorn's Thump Keg over here on buymeacoffee.com. /The Hake Report. And he says, no, he was not talking about abortion. Hake was in his imagination, of course. The point of my coffee wasn't to be pro-abortion. It was to point out that people have a lot of grand ideas about what other people should do. Yeah, that part is true. But they themselves wouldn't do the thing they're suggesting for someone else. Oftentimes, yeah. If the guy telling someone to get a job at McDonald's isn't willing himself to go work at McDonald's, it strikes me as disingenuous just saying something because it sounds good, just my opinion. Yeah, but he's not in the position that those young men are in. Let's say has a squeegee and is wanted to do that, then would he work at Starbucks? It's an if. It's totally asking him to live in his imagination. And if he's honest, either he knows that he wouldn't, or he'd be like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. So, like, everybody's in a different situation. But that is true. You make a suggestion and let them live their life. It's not necessarily disingenuous, but I mean, a McDonald's is kind of like, why don't you go work at McDonald's? That just mean it doesn't even necessarily mean literally just go work at McDonald's. It just means there's jobs to be had. There's jobs. Maybe not jobs that you would want necessarily, but anyway. Lastly, Mark suggesting that Trump empower citizens to help with rounding up people is laughable. I know, I laughed too. Yeah, put a bunch of overzealous, untrained people on the streets. Oh no, we would train them and have them detain people they think look like they don't belong here. What could go wrong? Is this a joke? Oh, come on. You're putting words in Mark's mouth. People who say things like that are sick. Sounds more like a fantasy Mark has. Yeah, I mean, it reminded me of like the brown shirts or something. Were the brown shirts like or the Gestapo or something? Were the Gestapo like Jewish citizens who turned on their fellow Jews or something like that? Or the brown shirts, were they official people or were they just citizen? There are people who have gone down to the border to be deputized, volunteered to be deputized. I think like Ted Nugent might have done that, or some other star or a couple of stars have gone down to the border to be deputized, and they go through the proper training and become deputized, and there's citizens who become deputized. And it's not necessarily based on just profiling. Look, you don't look like you look like you don't belong here. Show me your papers. Remember, there was a "show me your papers" thing that AB 1070 or I don't know, Arizona "show me your papers" law. The law enforcement was able to ask them. Senate Bill 1070, SB 1070, not AB. Senate Bill 1070 allowed, according to far-left extremist Google AI, it might not be reliable, okay? Allowed police to ask for immigration documents during traffic stops and other law enforcement actions, signed by Jan Brewer, a woman governor. But shout out to her. She's the one who stuck her finger in Trump's face. The law was signed in 2010. Several provisions. Show me your papers. It was a misdemeanor for an illegal alien in Arizona without required documents. Arrest without a warrant if they believe they were a deportable immigrant. Supreme Court upheld the show me your papers provision but struck down the other parts of the law. Had a lasting impact on Latino communities, causing fear and uncertainty, inspiring a new generation of Latino activists. I wonder if that's true. The backlash is worse than the thing. It might be. It might or might not be. They try to make that claim. It's kind of like the prohibition brought more crime, organized crime. I don't know if that's true. They were trying to say, oh, it's racial profiling. They're not going to ask white people to show their papers because whites aren't the primary illegals. Officers may question the immigration status of those who are suspected to be in the country unlawfully. Papers, please. That echoed a common trope regarding Germans' World War II films. Oh, that's funny. Nice. There was I don't know why I got into that. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Popcorn Stumpcade. It's not necessarily disingenuous to suggest people do something that you wouldn't necessarily want to do because you're not in their position. If you were in their position, that's what you might do. And then you leave people be. You don't try to force them, but you don't let them wash your windows when you don't want them to. You know what I mean? I think I saw a Cash App tip come in. Tim, Generosity Day. What's up, Tim Scott? The real one, not to be confused with the Rhino. Generosity Day. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. The Cash App. Did you know that James Anton Hake is on Cash App? Hake, I'm still scared and nervous when someone asks me to show me my papers, says Seasal. I wonder if that's true. Or if she's trolling. Nice. Okay. All right. We have just a few minutes left. I might show you guys the softly and tenderly thing. Let me get to my favorite caller, beautiful Maze from Ohio, on the line here. How you doing, Maze? I wasn't able to get to you Friday.
Oh, that's okay.
Nice.
I have no problem with that. Well, James.
Yes.
Now, if you ban everybody that Mark wants you to ban, who you gonna have to talk to? Just because his heart can't take it.
I'll have Mark and somebody else to talk to. Mark and Jaime.
Oh, okay. And then it'll be a sad situation.
It's not sad. I don't
Because
think.
all three of y'all think the same.
Right.
And everybody that think the same shouldn't be together. 'Cause you can't tell the other one that they're doing wrong or you're doing right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So for the people that take their time, listen to you and talk to you, shouldn't be banned.
Right.
Because he don't like what's being said. If he can't take it, he should close his ears and not listen and give his opinion. And if he don't like it, he can give his opinion about what he don't like, but you shouldn't be banning it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And another question: why is Giuliani at that protest yesterday?
Mayor Rudy Giuliani, America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani, was at a protest yesterday?
Oh, yes.
I don't know.
He was at the rally. He was at the rally, not a protest. He was at the rally. It was the last word. They saying goodbye.
Oh, okay. He should be at Madison Square Gardens.
Oh, he should. Why?
Because he is New York. Of course, he's going to be at the Trump New York rally.
Oh, I thought it was a goodbye wave. That's what I was looking at it as.
Oh, dang, that's cold. Goodbye. What do you mean? Is he going to jail or something?
I don't know if he's going to jail, but he get ready to pay out some money
Nice.
for lying.
For lying?
Yes.
Oh, well,
And
that's.
he lost his law license for lying.
Hey,
and
so
doing
did Bill Clinton, and we don't hold it
did.
against him.
Sure did.
We don't hold it against Bill Clinton or Rudy
Bill
Giuliani.
Clinton's not running for anything. And he's not running for anything.
So?
He lied and he told the truth. You lied and still haven't told the truth.
But Giuliani, I think that's just, they're going after him for no good reason.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
every time I look at one of these rallies and I look at one of these things, I think about when the Congress couldn't even find the Speaker of the House, how long it took and how they had to stumble over everything and they didn't have enough brightness in order to find somebody to do the job. So they was already stumbling over everything they did.
Well, Maze, I hate to cut you short, but I have to cut you short.
Oh, what's that? Oh, your time is up.
Yeah. It's nice talking. It's nice hearing from you.
Oh, so Mark, stop talking about banning people. Give your opinion and go on about your business and lay down and go to sleep and wake up the next day and take it again. That's the way it should be. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too, Maze. Take care. Guys, this has been the Hake Report. Joel Friday TV is coming up next. I got to wrap things up. And why don't we play Softly and Tenderly from LN, right? LN. Softly and Tenderly. Yeah. Here, check it out. It's a long song. That's why I'm starting it before 10 till. I think it's a hymn. LN Monday. Remember? Love Neptune. I don't really like the name of that. It's Christian, guys. Come on. Why should we tarry when Jesus is waiting, pleading for you and for me? Super beta. Why shall we linger Smoking music, indeed. I might have pushed the gain up too much on this song. I'm hearing hints of it going kind of bad. Angry octopus. Heroin music. Come on, it's Christian. Christian heroin. Thank you, Harmony. I saw your Cash App. Hi. Hake is the red heifer. Best part of the song, the shoegaze part. She was a guest singer. I don't know who she is. He is Gary Murray. Gary Murray of LN. I've been wanting to play it for you, but it's like over 6 minutes long, or it's plus or minus 6 minutes. And that's so long. Big Bump says, we are all Randy Quaid. Indeed. What's up, Facebook What's up, Facebook crew? If you're still there. I can feel my testosterone draining from my system. Well, adios, America. Joel Friday, up next. Bye.